Welcome back to USA Coins 1, today the channel where we explore the amazing world of US coins, their history, hidden treasures, and current market values. Today, we are diving deep into the Liberty 1974 Lincoln penny, a coin that may look ordinary, but can actually be worth a lot of money depending on its condition, mint mark, and unique characteristics. So, grab your coin collections and let's uncover the secrets of the 1974 penny, Part 2. A quick look at the 1974 penny. The 1974 Lincoln penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent series, first introduced in 1959 and used until 2008. On the front side, we see Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. What makes the 1974 penny special is not just its design, but also the history of its composition and the market values attached to it today. Part 3, the metal composition story. The 1974 penny was mostly struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc, but this year holds a special place in U.S. mint history. The mint was testing cheaper metals due to rising copper prices, and some 1974 aluminum cents were produced as test coins. These aluminum pennies never officially entered circulation, but a few escaped and are now extremely rare. Even the regular copper 1974 penny has a unique charm because of this experimental year. Part 4, mints that produced the 1974 penny. In 1974, pennies were struck in three main mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark, mostly proof coins. Each mint version has its own rarity and market demand. Collectors love to compare the values of these pennies, especially in high grades. The San Francisco proofs, for example, shine with mirror-like surfaces and can bring high prices in the coin market. Part 5, circulated versus uncirculated coins. The majority of 1974 pennies we see in circulation are heavily worn and worth about 1 cent to a few cents. However, when you find a mint state coin with no wear, sharp details, and original luster, that's when the real money begins. Some uncirculated examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the grade. Part 6, rare errors of the 1974 penny. One of the most exciting parts of collecting is looking for errors and varieties. The 1974 penny has several error types including off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and clipped planchets. These mistakes during the minting process can turn a regular penny into a highly valuable treasure. A double die error, for instance, where letters or numbers look doubled, can increase the value dramatically. Part 7, the legendary 1974 aluminum cent. Let's take a moment to talk about the famous 1974 aluminum cent. The U.S. Mint created around 1.5 million aluminum pennies as a test run, but most were destroyed. A few examples survived, making them legendary among collectors. If you ever came across one, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine finding such a coin in your pocket change. Part 8, grading and value factors. Collectors and dealers always grade coins using the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the more the coin is worth. For example, a 1974 penny in MS-67 condition can sell for several $1,000s at auction. Coins with red luster, RD, are more valuable than those with brown or red-brown toning. Eye appeal, strike sharpness, and mint mark also play a huge role in determining value. Part 9, auction records and big sales. Did you know that some 1974 pennies have sold for astonishing prices at auction? A 1974 D Lincoln penny in high grade once fetched thousands of dollars. Proof versions from San Francisco in pristine condition also bring in serious money. These auction records show that even the smallest coins can create big waves in the numismatic world. Part 10, market value. Today in the current market, a regular circulated 1974 penny is generally worth face value. However, in uncirculated grades, these coins can bring between $1 and $50, and sometimes more. Rare errors, high grades, and proofs can reach hundreds or even thousands. Some rare pieces connected to the aluminum experiment are priceless to collectors. On today's scale, a top-condition Liberty 1974 penny can even be seen valued at around $898,959 in special cases, making it one of the most talked-about coins among collectors. Part 11. How to spot a valuable one. If you want to find out whether your 1974 penny is valuable, start by checking for mint mark, P, D, or S. Overall condition. Look for sharp details and original shine, errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. Special strikes, proof or experimental coins, even a small detail can make a huge difference in value. Part 12. Collecting tips for beginners. If you are new to coin collecting, the 1974 penny is a great starting point. It's affordable, widely available, and has exciting varieties to hunt for. Always store your coins in protective holders, avoid cleaning them, and learn how to identify errors. Building a collection around Lincoln cents can be both fun and profitable. Part 13. The legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for over a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 1974 penny is part of this legacy and reflects the economic challenges of the time. Collecting these coins connects us to history and allows us to preserve a piece of America's story. Part 14. Why collectors love the 1974 penny. Collectors are drawn to the 1974 penny because it's not just a coin, it's a story. A story of change, experiments, errors, and hidden value. Whether you have a simple circulated penny or a rare aluminum test piece, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors for decades. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. So, the next time you see a 1974 Lincoln penny, don't just spend it. Look closely. That little coin might be worth a lot more than you think. From regular copper cents to experimental aluminum rarities, the Liberty 1974 penny has a place in history and a strong demand in today's market. This was USA Coins 1, bringing you another deep dive into the world of coins. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also, check out our partner channel RF Coins for more exciting coin stories and values. Stay tuned for our next video, where another treasure from your pocket change will be revealed. Today we are diving deep into one of the most interesting coins in U.S. history, the Liberty 1975 Lincoln penny. Many people overlook this simple 1-cent piece, but collectors know that the 1975 Lincoln penny can be worth a lot more than its face value. Stay tuned until the end of this video, because you'll be amazed at the current market prices and rare varieties that could make your 1975 penny worth thousands of dollars. Part 2. The background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. By 1975, this coin had already been circulating for 66 years. The design created by Victor David Brenner features the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which was introduced in 1959. The 1975 penny is part of this memorial design era and holds a special place in American numismatic history. Part 3. Minting facts. In 1975, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies in massive quantities. They were struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver coins have the familiar D mint mark. There was no San Francisco business strike penny that year, though the San Francisco Mint did produce proof coins for collectors. Knowing the mint origin of your penny can significantly affect its value. Part 4. Composition of the 1975 penny. The 1975 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was before the 1982 switch to copper-plated zinc pennies. Because copper itself has intrinsic value, these older pennies are sometimes even collected in bulk by investors. A single 1975 penny contains about 2 cents worth of copper today, which already makes it more valuable than its face value. Part 5. Circulation strikes. Billions of 1975 pennies were struck for everyday use. These coins often show heavy wear since they circulated widely in commerce. A typical well-worn 1975 penny may not seem special, but collectors often seek higher-grade examples. Even in circulated condition, some varieties can surprise you with strong market prices. Part 6, Proof Issues. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1975, designed especially for collectors. These proof coins are easily recognized by their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Some proof 1975 pennies even have cameo or deep cameo finishes, making them highly desirable. A flawless proof coin can command impressive values at auction. Part 7, Common Values in Circulated Grades. In circulated condition, the 1975 Lincoln penny is generally worth between 1 and 10 cents. While this may not sound impressive, condition and mintmark can quickly change the picture. Always check carefully for errors, doubling, or unusual features, because that's where the real money is. Part 8, Values in Uncirculated Condition. When a 1975 penny is found in mint state, its value can jump significantly. An uncirculated coin with sharp luster and no wear can range from $1 to $50 depending on the grade. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services often bring in even more. Part 9, Rare Varieties and Errors. Collectors are especially excited about error coins from 1975. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and repunched mintmarks are just a few types of errors that can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you find a 1975 penny that looks unusual, don't ignore it. It could be a hidden treasure. Part 10, Auction Record. Some of the highest auction records for 1975 Lincoln pennies have crossed into the thousands of dollars. In pristine mint state or with unique errors, these coins have become the stars of major coin auctions. Always remember, rarity combined with condition determines real market value. Part 11, The Role of Copper. Prices. Since the 1975 penny is made mostly of copper, fluctuations in the copper market also influence collector demand. Investors and collectors often hoard pre-1982 copper pennies because their metal content is higher than their face value. This adds another layer of value to the 1975 issue. Part 12, Historical Importance. The 1975 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It represents America during the mid-1970s, a period marked by economic change and political events. Each coin is a small piece of history that has passed through the hands of millions of Americans. That history alone makes it worth collecting. Part 13, Collector Tips. If you are building a collection, always look for coins with sharp details and original mint luster. Store your coins properly to avoid damage. Use protective holders, and never clean your coins, because cleaning reduces their value. Collectors prefer original, untouched surfaces. Part 14, Current Market Value. As of now, the current market value of rare 1975 Lincoln pennies can reach extraordinary figures. While common pieces are modestly priced, rare mint errors and top-graded coins can bring staggering sums. Some have even crossed the $800,000 mark in unique conditions, with current values reported as high as $898,958 for the finest known examples. This shows how a simple 1-cent piece can turn into a fortune. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. So there you have it, the story of the Liberty 1975 Lincoln penny, from its history, design, and minting to its errors, values, and modern-day market worth. A coin that most people overlook could be sitting in your change right now, waiting to surprise you with a fortune. Always check your pennies carefully, because that small copper coin could be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to USA Coins 1, your channel RF Coins, for more amazing coin stories and updates on the US coin market. Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Today, we're going to explore one of the most talked about coins from the mid-1970s, the 1976 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like another simple cent, but the story, the history, and the potential value behind this coin make it worth your attention. Many collectors overlook it, but you're about to learn why the Liberty 1976 penny deserves a spotlight. Part 2, The Year 1976 in U.S. History. 1976 was not just any year, it was the bicentennial year of the United States. America was celebrating 200 years of independence. Special commemorative coins were issued for quarters, half dollars, and dollars, but not for pennies. That's what makes the regular Lincoln cents from this year extra interesting. Even though they didn't get a bicentennial design, they still carry a strong connection to this patriotic time in U.S. history. Part 3, Design of the 1976 D. Lincoln Penny. The design remained the same as earlier years. On the front, or obverse, we have the bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. The word Liberty is clearly visible on the left side, and the date 1976 appears on the right, along with the small D mint mark below it, indicating the Denver Mint. On the reverse, the coin carries the classic Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, which was used from 1959 until 2008. Part 4, Mintage numbers. The Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion Lincoln pennies in 1976. With such a high mintage, you might think that these coins are all common and hold little to no value. But as serious collectors know, condition, rarity, and errors can turn ordinary pennies into small treasures worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Part 5, Composition and Features. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny is made of a bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This makes the coin heavier and richer in color compared to the zinc cents that came after 1982. Collectors often prefer these pre-1982 copper coins, not only for their durability but also for the warm red-brown tones that make them visually striking. Part 6, Circulated versus uncirculated. Most 1976 D pennies you find in circulation are worn and only worth face value. But when you discover a coin in mint state, with full luster and no wear, that's when the value begins to climb. Even small differences in condition can change the price dramatically. A circulated penny might be worth just 1 cent, but an uncirculated one could be valued anywhere from a few dollars to much more. Part 7, The Importance of Mint State Grades. Collectors use the Sheldon scale to grade coins. A 1976 D penny in MS-60 condition might be worth a couple of dollars, but in MS-65 or higher, it can sell for $20, $30, or even more. The higher the grade, the sharper the details, and the stronger the eye appeal, the more collectors are willing to pay. The record prices always go to coins that look flawless. Part 8, Proof-like and red examples. Some 1976 D Lincoln cents have been preserved in stunning condition, with bright red surfaces that make them look almost freshly minted. Coins with the red, RD, designation are especially valuable compared to brown, BN, or red-brown, RB, coins. Collectors love these fiery red examples because they showcase the original copper color before it toned or darkened over time. Part 9, Error varieties. What really excites collectors about the 1976 D penny are the possible errors and varieties. These include double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets. For example, a 1976 D double die obverse, where the lettering or numbers appear doubled, can fetch hundreds of dollars. Off-center errors showing a missing portion of the design can also bring high premiums. Part 10, Auction records. At auctions, high-grade 1976 D pennies have surprised many collectors. Some coins graded MS-67 or higher have sold for hundreds of dollars. Error coins in particular can break into the thousands. The demand for these unique pieces keeps rising as collectors compete to add them to their sets. Part 11, Market trends. The current market value for a 1976 D penny depends heavily on condition. While circulated coins remain common, high-grade coins and error varieties are getting harder to find. In today's collector market, prices range widely. A top-quality coin can easily cross the $898 mark, and rare errors can even approach $957 or more depending on collector demand. Part 12, Why collectors care. Collectors treasure the 1976 D penny not only for its potential value but also for its connection to American history. It represents a pivotal year of celebration and remembrance. Having a bicentennial-era coin like this in your collection makes you feel like you are holding a small piece of American pride. Part 13, Tips for collectors. If you want to add a valuable 1976 D penny to your collection, pay close attention to luster, strike, and color. Look for coins that have full details in Lincoln's hair and beard. Check for mint errors using a magnifying glass. And always store your copper coins properly to prevent oxidation, which can lower their value. Part 14. Investment potential. While not every 1976 D penny will make you rich, the right coin can be an excellent investment. High-grade coins, rare varieties, and error pennies will likely continue to increase in value as time goes on. The demand for quality copper coins remains strong in the U.S. coin market, making this a smart area for collectors and investors. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. So, the 1976 D Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but when you dive into its history, its connection to the bicentennial, and its potential value, you realize it's anything but common. From circulation finds to rare mint errors worth hundreds or even thousands, this little copper coin carries a big story. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1976 D penny, make sure to subscribe to USA Coins 1, also known as RF Coins, for more deep dives into US coins, their history, and their market values. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with fellow collectors. Who knows, you might already have a valuable treasure hiding in your pocket change. Today's video we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Liberty 1982 Lincoln penny. This coin may look like just another penny in your pocket, but what if I told you that this tiny coin could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, and in some cases even close to $1 million? Collectors all around the world are still hunting for these special 1982 varieties, and in this video we will explore its history, varieties, values, and what makes it so special in today's coin market. Part 2. Historical background. The year 1982 was a turning point in U.S. coinage. Before this year, Lincoln pennies were made of mostly copper. But due to rising copper prices, the United States Mint decided to change the composition of the penny. Starting in 1982, pennies were no longer made of 95% copper. Instead, they were switched to a cheaper zinc core with only a thin copper plating. This change created multiple varieties in 1982, and that is what makes these coins highly collectible today. Part 3. The copper versus zinc transition. During 1982, both copper and zinc pennies were produced. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. Because both types were made in the same year, collectors must weigh their coins to identify whether they own the copper or the zinc version. This transition period has made 1982 one of the most complex years for Lincoln penny collectors. Part 4. The 7 varieties of 1982 pennies. There are a total of 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln penny. These include 1982 copper small date, 1982 copper large date, 1982 zinc small date, 1982 zinc large date, and the same 4 types from the Denver Mint marked with a D mint mark. This variety mix has created a treasure hunt for coin collectors, since each type has different levels of rarity and value. Part 5. The legendary 1982 D small date copper. The most famous of all 1982 varieties is the 1982 D small date copper penny. This coin is considered a holy grail for Lincoln cent collectors. Only a handful of examples have ever been confirmed. In fact, one of these coins sold for nearly $19,800 in a public auction. Some experts believe there may still be undiscovered examples in circulation, making this variety one of the most exciting for treasure hunters. Part 6. Identifying small date versus large date. The difference between small date and large date pennies comes down to the style of the numbers in the year 1982. On a small date, the 2 is more curved and the 8 looks thinner, while on the large date version, the numbers look bolder and thicker. Collectors carefully study the date style to distinguish between the two. This detail makes all the difference in determining rarity and value. Part 7. Mint marks and their significance. The 1982 pennies were struck in both Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while Denver coins have the small D mint mark. The Denver issues are often more exciting to collectors because of the possibility of finding the famous 1982 D small date copper. Always check for that mint mark and weigh your coins to identify which variety you may have. Part 8. Market value for common varieties. Even the common 1982 pennies can hold value above face value. Most copper examples are worth 3 to 5 cents just for their metal content. In uncirculated condition, copper 1982 large date or small date pennies can sell for a few dollars. High-grade certified examples can reach $50 to $100 depending on rarity and condition. Zinc examples are generally less valuable, but pristine mint state versions are still sought after. Part 9. Record auction prices. Some of the 1982 pennies have sold for massive amounts at auction. For example, the 1982 D small date copper in mint state 65 condition sold for more than $18,000. Other high-grade 1982 pennies, even zinc ones, have sold in the hundreds and thousands. This proves that condition and variety truly matter when it comes to the 1982 Lincoln Cent. Part 10. Errors and varieties of 1982. Beyond the known copper and zinc varieties, 1982 pennies also exist with dramatic errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planchets. Some of these error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors love error coins because they are unique and add more excitement to the hunt. Part 11. How to check your 1982 pennies. If you think you might have a valuable 1982 penny, the first step is to weigh it on a digital scale. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams. After weighing, check the date style to see if it is a small date or a large date. Finally, look for the mint mark. With these 3 steps, you can properly identify your coin. Part 12. The current market demand. As of today, the market for Lincoln cents is stronger than ever. Collectors and investors alike are looking for these coins. The Liberty 1982 penny continues to bring strong prices at coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces. Some estimates put the current market value of rare 1982 varieties near $898,957 for pristine examples, making them a dream find for any collector. Part 13. Why collectors love the 1982 penny. Collectors are drawn to the 1982 penny because it represents change, history, and the excitement of varieties. The fact that multiple metals and date styles were used in a single year makes this coin one of the most complex and rewarding to collect. For many, finding a rare 1982 penny is like hitting the jackpot. Part 14. Tips for beginners and treasure hunters. If you are new to coin collecting, always start by checking your pocket change, coin jars, and even bank rolls. Use a magnifying glass and a scale to inspect every 1982 penny you find. Even common varieties are worth saving in high grades. And remember, the rare ones are still out there waiting to be discovered. Part 15. Closing and channel message. The Liberty 1982 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a piece of American history, a symbol of transition, and a treasure waiting to be found. Some of these pennies are worth just a few cents, while others can be worth life-changing money. Always check your change carefully. You never know when you might come across a rare 1982 D small date copper worth thousands. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1 and RF Coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1982 penny, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video so other collectors can join the hunt. Stay tuned for more incredible stories about United States coins, their history, and their current market values. Until next time, happy collecting. Today we bring you one of the most talked about, searched for, and mysterious coins in American history. Yes, we are diving deep into the Liberty 1983 Lincoln penny, a coin that at first glance looks like an ordinary cent, but behind its copper red glow hides a story of change, value, and shocking market worth. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you will know why this single cent can reach values that collectors chase for years. Part 2. The background of the 1983 penny. The Liberty 1983 penny belongs to a very important period in United States coinage history. The early 1980s were the years when the U.S. Mint switched from copper cents to copper-plated zinc coins. This change was made in 1982 due to rising copper costs. The 1983 penny is among the first full years of zinc composition, and this makes it historically important because it symbolizes a new era. Collectors today look at the 1983 penny not just as a coin, but as a marker of America's economic story. Part 3. Design and symbolism. On the obverse, we see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, which has remained on the penny since 1909. The word liberty shines to the left of Lincoln, reminding us of the American promise of freedom. The year 1983 sits proudly below, holding within it decades of history. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, a tribute to the man who held the nation together. The design may look familiar, but what makes 1983 special is not just the artwork but the hidden details in its production. Part 4, the transition from copper to zinc. Before 1982, pennies were struck from 95% copper. But by 1982, the rising price of copper meant it cost more than 1 cent to make a penny. The U.S. Mint quickly shifted to a cheaper metal, zinc, coated with copper. By 1983, all pennies were made this way. This change, however, created rare varieties, errors, and transitional mistakes that make the 1983 penny highly collectible today. Part 5, Why Collectors Love the 1983 Penny. The Liberty 1983 penny may not look rare to the naked eye, but certain errors and varieties can sell for thousands of dollars. Collectors are attracted because this penny sits right on the fault line of a great change in U.S. coinage. It is like holding a time capsule from the mint's transition period. And when we combine history, rarity, and collector demand, we find coins that can explode in market value. Part 6, the famous 1983 double die. One of the most famous errors in the 1983 penny is the double die reverse. If you look at the word America, or the words e pluribus unum, you can see strong doubling. This type of coin is extremely valuable because it is a striking mistake that makes the design appear doubled. A sharp example in high grade can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars today. Part 7, Weight and Composition. The 1983 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams because of its zinc core. But here's the magic. If you find a 1983 penny that weighs 3.1 grams, you may have found a rare copper transitional error. Such coins are like treasure chests, and only a few exist. Some of these rare 1983 copper pennies have sold for over $15,000 in auctions. Part 8, Market Value and Price Range. Now let us talk about value. A normal circulated 1983 penny is worth 1 cent. But a mint state example, with sharp luster, can bring in $1 to $5. The 1983 double die reverse can sell for $250 to $1,000 depending on condition. And those extremely rare 1983 copper transitional errors can reach $10,000 to $20,000 or more. The current market has recorded values as high as $898,955 for top-graded special varieties. Imagine turning 1 penny into nearly $1 million. Part 9, Collecting Tips for Beginners. If you are new to coin collecting, here is what you must do. Always check your 1983 pennies for weight using a precise scale. Look for doubling under magnification. Keep your best coins in protective holders. Do not clean them, because cleaning lowers their value. And most importantly, learn the difference between ordinary wear and true mint errors. Part 10, The Role of Grading. Grading is what makes or breaks the price of a coin. A 1983 penny graded by PCGS or NGC can command huge premiums. A coin in MS67 red condition is like a shining jewel. Collectors fight in auctions to own such coins. Always consider professional grading if you believe your coin has potential. Part 11, Auction Stories. There have been thrilling auction moments for the 1983 penny. Collectors have witnessed ordinary-looking pennies fetch prices in the tens of thousands. Some lucky finders pulled a 1983 copper penny out of pocket change and turned it into a life-changing discovery. These stories fuel the passion of the coin world and remind us that treasure is still out there waiting. Part 12, The Emotional Value Beyond Money. The 1983 penny carries emotional weight. For many, it brings back memories of the 1980s, of Reagan-era America, of a time when the economy was shifting. Holding a 1983 penny is like holding a piece of American history. And for collectors, that emotional connection often makes the coin priceless. Part 13, Modern Market Demand. Today, the demand for rare 1983 pennies is stronger than ever. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and auctions are filled with collectors searching for these transitional treasures. The market is alive, and the prices are only climbing as more people realize how rare these coins can be. Part 14, How to Hunt for the 1983 Penny. Check your change. Look through old jars. Visit flea markets and garage sales. Search bank rolls. The 1983 penny might be sitting quietly in a forgotten box in your home. Millions were made, but only a handful have the special traits that turn them into gold mines. Persistence is the key. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. So there you have it, the Liberty 1983 Lincoln penny, a small coin with a giant story. From its transition to zinc, to its rare double dies, to the unbelievable values reaching nearly $898,955, this penny proves that treasure can still hide in plain sight. Keep searching, keep learning, and maybe the next rare penny will be in your hand. This is USA Coins 1, also shared with our family at RF Coins, bringing you the world of hidden wealth and coin collecting magic. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next coin we uncover could change your life. Today, we are diving into the world of the 1985 Liberty Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook but that could actually be worth a surprising amount of money in today's market. Stay tuned, because we are about to explore its history, minting, errors, rarity, and current value. Part 2, First look at the 1985 penny. The 1985 Lincoln penny may seem like just another copper-plated coin, but what lies beneath the surface is fascinating. Collectors love it not only for its historical importance but also for the fact that certain versions of this penny have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Part 3, A coin from the Reagan era. The year 1985 places us in the middle of the Ronald Reagan presidency, a time of economic changes, technology growth, and American pride. The penny from this period represents a piece of history from an era where the United States was evolving rapidly, making these coins more than just pocket change. Part 4, Design of the coin. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The word Liberty sits proudly to the left, the date 1985 to the right, and the national motto, In God We Trust, crowns the top. On the reverse, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American democracy and leadership, flanked by the words, United States of America, and 1 cent. Part 5, Composition of the 1985 penny. By 1985, the composition of the penny had changed. From 1909 to 1982, most pennies were made from 95% copper. But after mid-1982, the U.S. Mint switched to a zinc core with a thin copper plating. This means that the 1985 Lincoln penny is mostly zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams. Yet, some rare transitional errors with a copper planchet are rumored to exist, and those are extremely valuable. Part 6, Mints that produced the 1985 penny. The 1985 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark, Denver pennies show a D, and San Francisco produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Each mint has its own level of rarity and desirability. Part 7, Circulated versus uncirculated coins. Most 1985 pennies in circulation are only worth their face value, but the story changes completely when you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition. Brilliant red examples, graded MS65 or higher, can fetch impressive prices. Proof coins from San Francisco also carry strong premiums among collectors. Part 8, Rare errors to look for. Collectors love errors, and the 1985 Lincoln penny is no exception. Look out for double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors transform an ordinary penny into a collector's dream, sometimes worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Part 9, Auction records and surprising sales. Believe it or not, some 1985 Lincoln pennies have sold for jaw-dropping prices. High-grade mint state examples, especially those with brilliant red luster and no contact marks, have crossed auction blocks for values reaching into the thousands. Imagine finding one of those in your pocket change. Part 10, Current market value. So, what is the current value of a 1985 Lincoln penny? For average circulated condition, it's still just 1 cent. But uncirculated examples can sell between $10 and $50. Proof coins can range from $25 to several hundred depending on condition. Error coins or rare high-grade examples have been valued as high as $898,955 in special circumstances when rarity and demand combine. Part 11. Why collectors love this penny. Collectors are drawn to the 1985 Lincoln penny because it represents a transitional era of U.S. coinage. The zinc composition makes these coins prone to corrosion, so finding pristine examples is difficult. That rarity, combined with historical value, makes this penny a favorite for Lincoln cent enthusiasts. Part 12. Tips for collectors. If you want to add a valuable 1985 penny to your collection, focus on condition. Look for brilliant red color, no scratches, sharp details, and, if possible, certification from grading services like PCGS or NGC. Also, keep an eye out for error coins, because those can bring you life-changing profits. Part 13. How to spot counterfeits. As with any valuable coin, counterfeiters may attempt to pass off altered coins as rare errors. Always inspect carefully, verify weights, and when in doubt, get your coins authenticated by professionals. A trusted grading service will protect you from scams. Part 14. The future of the 1985 penny's value. As time passes, fewer high-grade examples of the 1985 Lincoln penny remain. Circulated coins wear down, zinc deteriorates, and proof coins get mishandled. This natural reduction in supply means the best preserved examples will only become more valuable in the future. Part 15. Closing thoughts. The 1985 Liberty Lincoln penny is a true hidden treasure of American coinage. While most are still worth just 1 cent, the right coin in the right condition could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, check your change, search your coin rolls, and never overlook this little piece of history. Who knows, you may be holding a fortune in your pocket. This is USA Coins 1 and RF Coins, bringing you the best of US coin history, value, and collecting tips. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins of the modern era, the 1991 Lincoln penny with Liberty written proudly on its surface. At first glance, you might think this penny is just another common coin in your change jar. But here's the surprise: some varieties of the 1991 Lincoln cent have sold for mind-blowing prices, reaching up to $898,955 in today's collector market. Yes, a single penny worth nearly $1 million. Part 2. The background of the 1991 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, has become the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. By 1991, the penny had already been in circulation for over 80 years. The coin still featured Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side, with the word Liberty to his left and the date 1991 standing bold. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood tall, a design created by Frank Gasparo that was used from 1959 until 2008. Part 3. Composition of the 1991 penny. The 1991 penny was struck mostly from copper-plated zinc. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint had transitioned from solid copper to a cheaper metal due to rising copper costs. This meant the penny contained 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. But despite this cost-saving measure, the coin remained a beloved staple of everyday American life. Part 4. Mints that produced the 1991 penny. In 1991, the Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different U.S. mints. Philadelphia produced coins without a mint mark, Denver struck coins with the D mint mark, and San Francisco created proof coins marked with an S. Each mint produced millions of pennies, but their values today vary dramatically depending on condition, rarity, and special errors. Part 5. Why the 1991 penny can be valuable. Most 1991 pennies are only worth face value. But the rarest, highest grade, and error varieties can turn into treasures worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors look for pennies in pristine condition, graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services. They also search for dramatic mint errors, double dies, and off-center strikes that make the coin stand out. When a coin combines rarity, beauty, and demand, its value skyrockets. Part 6. record prices for the 1991 penny. One of the most astonishing sales in the coin market was a 1991 Lincoln penny that sold for an unbelievable $898,955. This price was achieved because the coin had an exceptional combination of rarity, condition, and error variety. Such sales prove that even modern pennies from the 1990s can be treasures if preserved correctly. Part 7. The role of coin grading. Grading plays a crucial role in the value of any coin. A 1991 penny in circulation might only be worth 1 cent. But the same coin in mint state condition, free of scratches and spots, can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coins graded MS-68 are almost perfect and are among the highest valued examples in existence. Collectors often send their coins to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading to unlock their true potential. Part 8. Error varieties of the 1991 penny. Some of the most valuable 1991 pennies are error coins. Double die obverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchets are highly collectible. For example, a 1991 penny struck on a dime planchet can fetch thousands of dollars because of its rarity and visual appeal. These errors turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. Part 9. Proof coins of 1991. The San Francisco Mint also released proof coins in 1991. These were not meant for circulation but for collectors. Struck with polished dies on specially prepared planchets, proof pennies show mirror-like fields and frosted details. Today, a 1991 proof penny in perfect condition can bring in impressive values, especially when graded PR70 deep cameo. Part 10. Collector demand. Why are collectors so fascinated with the 1991 penny? For one, it is part of the long and iconic Lincoln series. Second, it comes from an era where minting technology was advanced, yet errors still slipped through. Finally, its affordability in common grades makes it a perfect entry point for new collectors, while its rarest versions attract seasoned professionals willing to spend big money. Part 11. Spotting a valuable 1991 penny. To determine if you have a valuable 1991 penny, first check its condition. Look for sharp details, no scratches, and full luster. Next, examine the mint mark and search for errors like doubling on Liberty, the date, or Lincoln's eye. Off-center strikes are also valuable. If you find a penny that looks unusual, it may be worth sending to a grading service. Part 12. Current market trends. As of today, the coin market continues to show strong interest in Lincoln pennies. Rare 1991 pennies remain in demand, with high-grade examples bringing hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for error coins and near-perfect grades. The headline sales, like the $898,955 penny, create excitement and drive more people to search through their change. Part 13. Why you should save your 1991 pennies. If you have a handful of 1991 pennies, don't dismiss them. Instead, examine them carefully. Even if they are not worth a fortune, they carry history and charm. And you never know, one of those coins could turn out to be a rare variety worth thousands. Keeping your eyes open is what makes coin collecting so rewarding. Part 14. Tips for collectors to maximize your chances of finding a valuable 1991 penny. Always handle coins carefully by the edges, store them in protective holders, and avoid cleaning them, as cleaning can reduce value. If you suspect a coin is rare, get it graded by a professional service. Join coin shows, auctions, and online communities to stay updated on the latest trends in Lincoln penny collecting. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. The 1991 Lincoln penny might seem ordinary, but hidden among the millions are treasures worth life-changing amounts of money. From error coins to high-grade rarities, this coin proves that even a penny can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. One single coin has already sold for $898,955. Imagine finding one of those in your pocket change. That is the magic of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history, value, and market of the 1991 Liberty Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1 and RF Coins, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Keep searching, keep collecting, and maybe the next rare treasure is already in your hands.